Alrighty, let's get to it.
I accidentally ended up on the side of the internet that not only did I never intend to end up on, I actually did not even know it existed. I've angered the vegans.
Yeah, so if you're wondering why she's angered the vegans, it's because of this post. It says, after surviving a wave of vegetarianism and veganism. So why did that catch so much flack? Well, first off, if the intention was, as she's going to say, just be so obsessed with protein and not veganism, it's framed as if it's like, oh, well, vegetarianism is like low protein, and I'm making fun of high protein people and they were just so sensitive. Just gonna put this out here. The reason that it's so tone deaf is because veganism is not like some potentially deadly thing. And for the sake of argument, let me just pop this up here for you. Survive means to continue to live or exist, especially after a dangerous event, hardship, or death of another. So yeah, it's not going to be dangerous to be vegan. It's not some incredible hardship like being stranded at sea and the death of another, as is the case when you pay for animals to be killed and eaten. So yeah, that's kind of why vegans are a little pissed off, incredibly tone deaf. And yeah, I actually made a post here and I said, yeah, definitely protein deficient myself, too busy worrying about animals not having their throats slit open to have some seitan or a protein shake. Which, by the way, it's just easy to do. Like this random vanilla soy protein that I have, 27 grams of protein. This seitan that I have, 23 grams of protein per 30 grams. You'd need basically triple that of ribeye or sirloin to get protein. So I'm not really sure what the whole thing is inherently about veganism only being low protein. It escapes me, I guess. Sorry, Cristina.
Now, I actually used to be a vegetarian for
You're vegetarian, not vegan. Doesn't matter.
3 years. I thought I'd preface everything I'm about to tell you with saying that.
Yeah, vegetarianism, it still pays for, I'm not going to take that as lip service when there are very many female animals who are constantly exploited, have their children ripped from them, and then are killed when they're deemed useless. I don't find that to be very good lip service.
By the way, hello from my new closet. So here's what happened.
Burgundy is a great color. Actually, one of the shorts I'm about to upload, burgundy is a very great color. That's a very nice color, Cristina.
I posted a video with the intention to make fun of millennials.
And it was incredibly tone deaf, and you targeted vegans with your tone deaf joke.
For being overly obsessed with protein intake these days.
I would agree with that. I have a whole other thing, AHA movement, for saying that there's a war on protein, when that's not been the case for like 2 decades.
After being obsessed with vegetarianism and veganism.
I would argue that we've had similar waves of things like feminism, where people were very much obsessed with it. And here's the thing, I wouldn't say that we've survived waves of feminism. It's just a great outcome that many more people are feminist as a direct result of the popularity of it gaining traction. Sure, there were a lot of very quote-unquote angry militant feminists that got chewed out and made fun of and ostracized, much like I'll probably get made fun of, ostracized, called a lot of things, and receive a lot of hate for this video. But here's the thing, fundamentally those are things we should be arguing for. I don't think anyone's going to argue that we should not be in favor of feminism. I don't think anyone should argue that we should not be in favor of veganism.
And a lot of people laugh.
A large majority of people are not vegan.
Then I had this wave of aggressive hate towards me in the comment section. Then I had this wave of aggressive hate towards me in the comment section. Then I had this wave of aggressive hate towards me in the comment section. Aggressive hate.
Sad. That's a lot of hate. Disappointing to say the least. Hating on people that are actively trying to make this. You're allowed to admit, yeah, that's hateful. Hateful comment. Stupid video. So there's one maybe hateful comment. You are being so stupid. Yeah, Adriana, certainly, I'll give you that. You have received a hateful comment. For sure. Hateful comment. To all truly vegans here, let's talk about your iron and ferritin levels. Meat is essential. It's not. I mean, I take a supplement. I have beans. I take it with vitamin C. I have a myriad of other things. I have some nuts pretty regularly. And again, most fortified foods make it so I'm perfectly fine with iron and ferritin. But thank you. Downplaying killing living beings isn't cute, girl. I survived being vegetarian and the vegan. Now I'm high protein vegan. Look at that. Yeah, so there's like one hateful comment, so I really don't know what you're talking about in there. DMs we can't prove, but sure, maybe you got like 10 people out of your hundreds of thousands of followers that said something mean.
And in my DMs, people were just saying all sorts of crazy stuff. And here's the...
There was one person that said that this video is stupid. That there's not lots of people, and it maybe in your DMs you've got like 4 or 5, maybe 10 people at max saying that that's really fucking rude.
Interesting part, I did not criticize veganism.
You straight up did criticize veganism. I don't know what you're arguing against here. It's nothing to survive. It's not this dire strait that's going to kill people. Like, veganism is not like an earthquake that you have to like shuttle out of your house and claw your way out of a sinkhole. So yeah, no, it's nothing you need to survive.
I did not criticize vegetarianism.
You did.
I specifically made lighthearted fun of millennials obsessing over protein these days.
Why are you framing it like it's like just some joke? Like, oh my god, we're surviving this horrific thing. No, Cristina, it's nothing to survive. Animals are the ones surviving. When you pay for meat, like where do you think meat comes from? Like where do you fundamentally think? Have you seen the slaughterhouse footage from factory farmed meat? Have you seen the slaughter footage of non-factory farmed meat? Have you seen the incalculable cruelty that they go to? Like, why are you arguing for the incalculable cruelty to these animals? And it's bonkers to me.
But a lot of vegans,
yeah, me included,
took that as an attack on them.
It's not an attack on me per se. It's an attack because you're framing veganism as like something akin to a shipwreck that needs to be survived.
So the whole reason I'm making this video is this.
You want to get more pushback towards vegans and take no accountability. That's the whole reason why.
If your way of life...
Love to hear what you think about my way of life when you've never lived it.
If your belief system...
I'd love to hear your interpretations of my belief system when you've never excised it or thought about it critically.
...makes you fume with anger.
I'm not fuming with anger. I am absolutely gobsmacked that someone's going to make a video criticizing it and then backpedal.
Towards your perceived idea.
It's not a perceived idea, it's literally how you're framing my entire lifestyle.
Yeah, of what a person's opinion is, because that's all it was, really. I never actually told you my opinion on this.
Please, do tell me your entire opinion on veganism, as you just did. I'm sure you're going to now, too.
Saw a text overlay on a 10-second video, and you have formed an opinion.
You made content, and people have formed a public comment, which is a part of this social media app, on what they thought of the content that you produced.
Opinion on what my opinion could be.
Yeah, and your opinion is that it's something that needs to be survived, as if it's something like a terrorist attack.
My friend, you do not have...
I'm certainly not going to feel comforted by the term my friend when I know it's going to be a backhand to the face.
Belief system, and you don't have a way of life.
I certainly have a belief system, and I certainly have a way of life. I have the belief that there is no difference between animals and humans that justifies the treatment that animals receive that humans don't. If you'd like, Cristina, okay, hold on. Tell you what, I will make a video formally apologizing, taking back all my criticism. You can find a single trait that justifies the treatment that animals receive, but not humans, or the treatment that humans receive, but not animals. One trait, like intelligence, like how they look, or anything of the like that is logically consistent in how we treat them, but not humans, then I'll take the whole thing down and apologize. That's it. Just name the trait. There you go.
You are possessed by an ideology.
Oh, there it is. I'm possessed by an ideology. Well, small hole here. I have not been possessed by like a vegan spirit or a vegan demon in the late Christmas nights and suddenly just have to hate on people who eat meat. I came to the conclusion after eating animal products for 18 years that it's really, really fucked up to have someone take a knife to a cow's throat, or for somebody to gas a pig to death, or to jam a blade into its neck, or to take cows and rip away their babies and force them to be pregnant and then steal their milk, or that it's totally wrong to just treat animals as property because they're living, sentient, feeling creatures. And the same way I wouldn't want to abduct small children and force them to work on farms, I would not want to do that to animals because they're innocent and defenseless, and it's wrong to do.
And that can be a very dangerous thing.
Sure, it's dangerous to be possessed by an evil ideology. Just curious, what does your ideological position on animal treatment allow you to do? Because to me, it seems very dangerous to hold an ideological position that a being that can suffer and feel pain and to want to spend time with its family, to usurp that and then pay somebody to put a knife into its throat or to hack its head off and then cleave the meat from its bodies. Not even meat. Sorry there, using more anthropocentric terms, taking the muscle from the animal's body and then serving it as meat patties for people to eat, like steaks or ribeyes or any other series of things like hamburgers, is certainly more dangerous in my opinion. It seems strange to me to treat another being that can feel, that can play, that can express grief and joy, and to pay somebody to put a knife into his throat. To me, that's a little dangerous. It's a little extreme.
Because ideologies make people do all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah, like paying for living, feeling, and breathing creatures to have a knife put into its throat without a proper justification.
So really check in with yourself.
I've checked in with myself. I check in with myself very frequently because this lifestyle is highly inconvenient. And I don't think I'd be highly inconvenienced unless it was something that I fundamentally agreed with. Like, the same way I'm not going to do a myriad of other atrocious things to other people, I'm not going to do a myriad of atrocious things to animals because they both deserve a basic amount of respect.
If you suddenly get very angry at the potential of another person living a different life.
I have no problem with people smoking weed. I have no problem with people doing drugs. I have got absolutely zero problem with people living an entirely different life. Some people want to be nomads. Some people want to do really good woodworking. Some people want to be carpenters. Some people want to be a musician. Some people want to be artists. Some people want to do X and Y and Z things. Those are all totally fine. I have no problem in a difference of personal choices and set of beliefs. Where it stops with the sets of beliefs and personal choices is when they're no longer personal choices and when their beliefs tend to, or when those same personal choices end up having somebody being murdered or having another living, breathing, feeling, joy expressing animal or sentient being having a knife put in its throat or having it gassed to death. Those certainly sound awful in the context of doing those things to humans. I wouldn't do those things to humans, so I won't pay for them to happen to animals.
For having a different opinion.
Yeah, here's the thing. Someone is allowed to think that like mint chocolate chip ice cream is good. I don't. I hate it. I prefer vanilla. I like lavender ice cream. Some people can wear large stripes and polka dotted pants. I personally don't believe in that. People can have different opinions. Where it changes my perspective of them is when their opinions allow for them to pay for another living, breathing, feeling, sentient being who is capable of all these lovely emotions to have its throat slit.
Yeah, because if you think that your way of life is the only...
I'm sure it's not the only way because you're living your life in a way that allows for you to entirely remove the entire feeling, joy expressing, and grief expressing, and the totality of emotions and encompassing things that indicate well-being or suffering to another living being and just throw it out the window. The only right way, I would argue that if you want to be morally consistent in your application of moral consideration, and if you want to have a logically consistent reason for treating people well, that yeah, the logical extension of that is animals, and that's the only quote-unquote right way to be logically consistent in your application of moral consideration for sentient beings. For sure, that is certainly right.
The only right way, the only virtuous way.
You can certainly be virtuous in many regards, but I would certainly argue for the fact that it's certainly difficult to argue that you're a virtuous person. Like, for example, Pablo Escobar had donated millions of dollars into a myriad of good things. Are we going to call him a virtuous man? It's certainly hard to do moral arithmetic and to concisely put out a good definitive answer. I won't even get started on that whole other subsection of things that was just on about for a minute there. But yeah, no, certainly a lot of people who pretend to be virtuous and who pretend to care about liberation, who pretend to care about rights, certainly forget animals exist. So no, it's certainly not the only virtuous way, but is definitely a strong virtue to have, to want to speak out for those who are experiencing injustice, for sure. And I would argue that if you're actively promoting the death and the in perpetuity, ad infinitum, serial incarceration, child theft, and further murder of other sentient beings, that yeah, it's certainly not a virtuous action, for sure. Doubling down on that does not look good.
You might be in trouble. Mwah.
No, I'm not going to put that in my pocket for later. Not in trouble at all. I mean, I'll certainly be in a shit ton of trouble for posting this video, especially on my Instagram. I'll probably get significant amounts of hate. I'll probably get significant amounts of backlash. I'll probably get significant amounts of X and Y and Z. But no, it's nothing to survive. And again, just name the trait, and there you go. It's going to escape you of all of my criticisms. Because I would just love to know myself. If there's like one thing I'm just skipping on where, wow, yeah, you did name a trait. Okay, that's a great justification. I'll go back to having my Slim Jims. I'll go back to having all these highly convenient foods. Sure will, for sure. But I don't believe you can, and I don't believe you will. So no, it's still going to stay. It's still going to stick. There's nothing to survive. Veganism is for sure an ethically, morally consistent application of our reason. So this video just fails on so many levels, for sure. And yeah, love it. You get like 2 negative hate comments, quote unquote hate comments on your video. And then yeah, it's just a whole bunch of jokes about vegans are shitty, vegans are crazy, they're crazies, they're pissed off because they need protein. They walked themselves into that. Burgundy's just wait, hold on. This comment's very true. Burgundy's just a great color, so fantastic for sure. These people are just hangry. Perhaps they need to concentrate on those protein consumptions. Again, protein's the most tired argument in the whole world. People think that we only eat grass. That's fine. I'm more than happy to be the butt end of the joke all the time because I don't want to see animals being killed and beaten with tire irons. I don't like seeing them smashed in the face with hammers. I don't like it when other countries pay for dogs to have their skulls bashed in with heavy clubs. I don't like the idea of seals having their entire faces bashed in. It's certainly just not a good vibe for me. So I will gladly be the butt end of the joke for in perpetuity, but no, this certainly does not pass the sniff test, Cristina. For sure, you face criticism because you made a tone-deaf joke about veganism. Animals don't deserve what you're bestowing upon them. Also, I just do really quickly want to make a quick little comment here about this. I was vegetarian for 3 years for ethical reasons. Vegetarian for ethical reasons fails for an innumerable series of levels, as I outlined at first when you first brought it up. But I had to stop for my health. No convenience. My MD and ND both confirmed that my body doesn't absorb iron and certain minerals effectively. Everyone's biology began different, and mine wasn't doing well at all. Remember where my earrings are, but the dress is from Zara. Smooch. So here's the thing, right? Like, I watch your content. I'm not just stumbling upon this in the wild. You promote things like skincare. You take loads of supplements. And I see ads from you where you talk, I've made blah, 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 and done all these great things. And, I'm on the go and doing this and doing that. With this app, I saved $30,000. Like, are you telling me that you can't afford, like, a $10 thing of iron or like a multivitamin like the rest of us? So no, it's certainly the case where you just don't want to be inconvenienced, and now you just don't want to face criticism. I'm really sorry that you feel like you can't be inconvenienced or that you don't deserve criticism for making fun of things and treating veganism like it's a shipwreck, but that's just not super duper persuasive in my opinion.